The Adrenaline Quest. Meet Con. He is an adventurous teen who strongly dislikes hanging around the house doing nothing. He enjoys skateboarding and running because they are safe and entertaining. Yet, he always dreams of special and amazing experiences to make his life truly unforgettable. His grand journey began with the beauty of nature. He went hiking and trekking deep in the green forests. Walking in the mountains was a beautiful and enjoyable activity for him every weekend. The green landscapes at the peak were absolutely wonderful, giving him a great sense of peace and total freedom. Next, Con decided to test the wild waters. He went canoeing on a fast river, which was quite an amusing experience. To explore underwater mysteries, he tried diving and scuba diving in the vast ocean. The colorful coral reefs were fascinating, making it an incredible and fantastic trip. Looking up at the clear sky, he desperately wanted to fly. He tried parasailing at the sunny beach and paragliding over a massive green valley. The long flight was thrilling and highly impressive. Later, riding a hot air balloon at the crack of dawn provided a magical moment above the clouds. Soon, Con desired more crazy and completely dangerous events to test his courage. He boldly tried bungee jumping off a huge steel bridge and skydiving from a fast airplane. He also loved hang gliding over the rolling green hills. Nothing was disappointing at all. His brave heart raced with pure joy. Finally, Con focused his energy on extreme and physically challenging sports. He practiced urban parkour in the busy city streets, went deep caving in dark tunnels, conquered steep rock climbing walls, and finished his grand tour with freezing ice climbing. Emily's Grand Adventure Book. Emily is a brave girl who loves nature more than anything else. While her friends prefer playing basketball, which is one of the classic team sports, or doing indoor sports like gymnastics, Emily dreams of exploring the wild. She truly enjoys individual sports where she can challenge her own limits. Last summer, her family stayed at a beautiful camping area located near a long, winding river. She walked up a green hill every single morning just to watch the sunrise. But Emily wants much more excitement in her life. She is deeply interested in extreme sports. She often reads magazines about brave athletes who climb a huge, snowy mountain or explore a dark, mysterious cave. "I want to try outdoor sports in every corner of the earth," Emily wrote in her diary. She imagined driving a jeep across a hot, sandy desert and then carefully walking on a rocky surface to find hidden fossils. She also thought about trying winter sports like snowboarding in the coldest months. Of course, her parents worry about dangerous sports. They prefer her to stick to safer sports like simply jogging on a local running track. "Those are too boring." Emily laughs. She understands that some activities are definitely risky sports, but she wants to feel the cool wind in the air. She dreams of trying exciting air sports like paragliding. Even when she visits the busy city and looks up at a giant modern skyscraper or a historical high tower, she imagines climbing them. But her biggest dream is actually related to the deep blue sea. She wants to master all kinds of water sports and eventually discover the beautiful underwater world. Emily's Great Adventures. Hi. My name is Emily, and I am 14 years old. Unlike many teenagers who like to stay at home, I am a true adrenaline lover. I believe life is short, so I always look for a thrilling adventure. I love to pack my backpack and explore the world on my own. My journeys usually involve visiting fascinating historical sites and discovering breathtaking natural beauties in different countries. I am a passionate rock climber. To get better, I train very hard at the local gym every weekend. I used to be afraid of heights when I was a little kid, but I realized that you have to take a risk if you want to push limits. Now, whenever I climb a tall mountain, I carefully stand on the highest rock and peacefully watch the scenery. It is the most amazing experience in the world. Last summer, I decided to try water sports. I went river rafting in a small yellow rubber boat. The water's speed was incredible, and the waves were huge. I held on tightly because I didn't want to fall down into the freezing river. Later that week, I also went scuba diving to swim with fascinating sea creatures. However, my ultimate dream is to be in the sky. I wish I could have wings just like a bird and fly freely. I want to jump from a safe cliff, open my parachute, and float in the air. I just want to feel the wind against my face. Since I can't do that yet, my dad and I plan to build a model aircraft this weekend. Extreme sports and wild activities always entertain me. I can't wait for my next big journey. Emma's grand summer adventure. Emma loved to travel and see different places. This summer, her family decided to explore some busy modern cities. While walking in a crowded urban place, she looked up at a very tall glass tower touching the sky. Later that day, they found a small art workshop in the city center. After that, they spent a few hours in a large history museum to learn about the past. Outside in the main square, Emma took a nice photo next to a famous stone statue. Next, they drove to a beautiful old port city. Emma always loved to visit historic sites on her holidays. She walked through a grand royal palace and saw the interesting ruins of an ancient temple. To relax, they decided to stay at a hotel right by the seaside. The weather was perfect to sunbath, get a nice suntan, and swim in the clear blue sea. The next morning, they chose to travel by ship to visit the islands. Finally, they went to a quiet village to enjoy nature. This beautiful green area was a famous natural heritage site. Emma was so happy to taste local dishes and try dishes she had never eaten before. Before going home, she was brave enough to try extreme sports in the forest. She wants to visit more amazing places next year. Emma's A Journey Through Time, Lily's Great Vacation. Lily was incredibly excited because her family finally decided to go abroad for the summer holidays. While some people only like shopping in busy modern cities, Lily loved exploring beautiful cultural destinations. Her first stop was Rome. She really wanted to learn about Italy's culture and learn about history, so she asked her parents to go to the museums. Inside a huge, fascinating museum, she spent hours looking at amazing ancient art and old statues. Walking outside in the warm air, she admired a beautiful water fountain next to a tall, traditional stone building. However, her absolute favorite part of the trip was visiting a massive, ruined ancient city. She was deeply fascinated by the historical architecture and loved seeing the world's rich historical heritage with her own eyes. She walked around an incredible open-air amphitheater, explored the ruins of an old Roman bath, and even climbed up to the tall towers of a stone castle. Visiting all of these important historic sites was a pure pleasure for her. To see more places easily without getting lost, her family decided to join a tour. The friendly guide took them far away from the noisy streets, deep into the green, peaceful countryside. Visiting this quiet rural place was the perfect way to relax. The next morning, they went to the harbor to sail across the deep blue sea to a magical little island. After so much walking, climbing, and exploring, Lily definitely needed some relaxation. It was finally time to have a rest. She found a quiet, sandy spot to sit and rest near the water. She was so happy to just lie on the beach and lie in the sun while listening to the waves. Before going back to the hotel on their last day, she stopped at a colorful local shop to buy souvenirs for her classmates. She bought some funny gifts and puzzles to entertain her friends when she returned home. It was truly the best adventure ever. Emma's wonderful adventures. Emma is a cheerful girl who loves exploring the world. Every year, she waits eagerly for her summer holiday because she enjoys spending time relaxing in her family's quiet summer home. However, she also loves the snow, and her favorite memory is a fantastic winter holiday where she learned how to ski in the mountains. For Emma, traveling is the best way to learn new things. Last year, Emma went on an exciting school trip with her classmates. They traveled on a large, comfortable bus to reach a beautiful, green village. It was a very peaceful holiday in the countryside, far away from the noisy city. During this trip, she also went on a short camping holiday, sleeping in warm tents under the bright stars and singing songs with her friends. Emma's family also enjoys the ocean. Once, they booked a wonderful cruise holiday and traveled across the deep blue sea on a massive ship. Another time, they preferred a relaxing seaside holiday and stayed in a lovely hotel by the beach. Waking up to the sound of the crashing waves and building sandcastles all day was an absolute dream for her. Whenever Emma wants to learn about history, Her parents plan a cultural holiday. They often choose a cozy bed and breakfast in the city center so they can easily go on a sightseeing holiday to visit ancient museums. But when Emma wants adventure, they go on a thrilling wildlife holiday and stay in a wooden bungalow near a national park to watch the animals. Next month, Emma is going to fly on a fast plane to a tropical island. Her parents surprised her by booking an amazing all-inclusive hotel inside a huge, luxurious resort. She is so excited to swim in the enormous pools and eat delicious food all day. Emma cannot wait to pack her bags and start her newest exciting adventure. Oliver's rules and duties. Oliver is an 8th grade student living with his big family. They have clear house rules at home, and everyone knows they must obey the house rules. His parents believe that a family must share duties equally. Every weekend, they wake up early to do household chores together. Oliver and his younger sister always help our parents because teamwork makes everything much easier for them. His morning task is to keep our room tidy before leaving for school. His grandmother reminds him that we must do our responsibilities happily. His family teaches him to respect each other always. He also learns to be respectful to the elderly, so he pours tea for his grandparents and listens to their stories. At school, there are strict school rules that everyone must follow. The principal reminds the staff to respect children's rights, ensuring students feel safe. In return, the students must pay attention and listen to the teachers carefully during lessons to achieve academic success. In his daily classes, Oliver is a very careful boy. He knows the classroom rules and never breaks them. One of his duties is to keep the classroom clean by throwing trash into the bins. He reminds his friends that a neat space helps everyone focus better on their exams. After school, Oliver goes to the reading room. He follows the library rules, like keeping absolutely quiet. He borrows novels and always makes sure to return books on time so others can read them. Following rules makes him a very responsible person. Chloe's busy weekend chores. Chloe woke up early on a bright Saturday morning because it was chore day. She wanted to be a very helpful daughter. As soon as she got out of her blankets, her first task was to make the bed. Her bedroom looked messy after a long week of school, so she had to tidy up the room. She picked up all her clothes and started to clean up her study desk. When everything looked neat, she quickly went downstairs. In the kitchen, her lovely pets were already waiting. She had to feed the cat first because he was meowing loudly and looking hungry. Right after that, she grabbed the red leash to walk the dog outside in the park. She came back just in time to help her mother. She watched her mom cook delicious eggs, and together they started to prepare meals for the family. Chloe's morning job was to set the table. When the big breakfast finished, Chloe stayed to help wash the dishes in the sink. Since they had a machine, she had to load the dishwasher with the dirty plates. A few hours later, she went back to empty the dishwasher. She used a soft towel to dry the dishes before putting them away. The kitchen bin was completely full, so she had to take out the garbage. The afternoon was reserved for the living room. Chloe grabbed a cloth to carefully dust the furniture. Then, she plugged in the machine to vacuum the floor and remove pet hair. After that, she used warm water to mop the floor and make it shine. Chloe also helped her mom to do the laundry, and she watched her dad do the ironing for the school uniforms. Before sunset, she had to take care of the garden by watering the spring flowers. Then, her father called her to help him clean the garage and organize tools. They also used a big sponge and soapy water to wash the car. Finally, they needed fresh food, so Chloe went to do the shopping. It was a long day, but she felt incredibly proud. Anna's busy Saturday. Anna is a young girl. She usually loves weekends. But this Saturday morning, she is very worried. When she wakes up, she sees that the house is very dirty. Her family had a big dinner last night. There are empty plates everywhere. Anna knows she will be very busy today. She must finish all the household chores before her parents come back home. First, Anna goes to her bedroom. It is necessary to make the bed every morning. Folding her blankets is an easy job for her. Next, she walks into the kitchen to wash the dishes. There are many greasy pots. Washing them all is really hard. But Anna does not stop. She scrubs them until the kitchen is shining and completely clean. Now, her room and the kitchen look very tidy. While Anna is sweeping the floor, her little brother runs inside with muddy shoes. He is being rude because he makes the clean floor messy again. Anna does not yell at him. She is a respectful sister and calmly tells him to take his shoes off. Then, Anna goes to the garden to help her old neighbor water the plants. Everyone knows that Anna is a very responsible person. At noon, Anna feels hungry. She knows that eating a healthy lunch is very important. She needs good energy to finish her work. She washes fresh tomatoes and makes a big green salad. Cooking a hot meal alone is difficult, so a fresh salad is the perfect choice for her. After she eats, she wipes the kitchen table and takes the heavy trash bags outside. Finally, it is late afternoon. All the daily chores are over. Anna sits on the comfortable sofa in the living room. The house is quiet, calm, and beautifully peaceful. Helping her family today makes her feel incredibly happy. She smiles because she did a fantastic job. Now, all the housework is done, and she is totally free to watch a movie and relax. The science journey of Lisa. Lisa loved science. She used to wonder how the human body worked. One day, she had to prepare a science project for school. She decided to do research on bacteria. Her ultimate dream was to treat the diseases of the world. She had to search for medical topics. She went to the library to look for old journals to gain knowledge. Soon, she started to work on her project. Every day, Lisa began to study biology. She promised to work hard to develop a method to stop infections. Often, she would have an idea in her sleep. She wanted to create a safe medicine. Her teachers didn't accept a theory she had at first. However, Lisa was ready to claim that her new method could easily help doctors diagnose illnesses faster. To prove this, Lisa had to conduct an experiment in the lab. First, she learned to operate the lab equipment. Before mixing, she had to make mathematical calculations to measure the chemicals. Then, she began to heat the test tube. She stopped to observe the reaction. She wanted to explore the bacteria and find out how they survived. She needed to experiment carefully. Afterwards, she grabbed her pen to write down the results. She knew science could improve lives and develop cures for diseases. She knew she must go on working to fix her formula. Her biggest goal was to invent a medical tool that could give a vaccination without using any painful needles on small children. Years passed, and Lisa became a great scientist. She was able to describe her discoveries clearly. She decided to write a book to share her long journey. Later, she was ready to publish a theory about defending human cells. Lisa proved that curious minds can truly change the world.
Tina's great invention. Tina is a very brilliant girl, but sometimes she forgets things and acts absent-minded. Her father is a busy merchant, and her uncle is a famous goldsmith. Tina loves making new things. She often goes to borrow tools from her uncle's shop. She must carry these heavy tools to her room to build her new inventions. She is currently making a printing machine. She does not believe books should be so expensive. It is a real struggle to build it, and she needs a lot of patience to fix her mistakes. When she shows her idea to the town leaders, they reject it. But Tina does not quit. She writes the results of the experiment in her diary. One day, a loud explosion happens in her room. Luckily, Tina cares about her safety and wears goggles to protect her eyes. Because she is careful, she can survive the small fire easily. However, her cat gets a tiny burn on his paw. Tina gently cares for her cat, treating him just like a sick patient in a real hospital. Soon, she hits a great milestone. Her machine finally works. She uses movable metal letters to print words fast. This machine will definitely make life easier for students. She buys a box to store her metal letters safely. Now, cheap books can reach many cities, and new information can spread very quickly everywhere. Tina chooses to share her machine with everyone. She wants to help every human learn to read and write. People from everywhere come to admire her invention. They show deep respect to her because she never gave up. Everyone knows that this young girl does truly deserve all the success in the world. Jennifer's mission for the Earth. Jennifer was a smart student who wanted to protect our planet from terrible ecological disasters. She lived in a crowded city where thick air pollution hid the sun every day. She read books about how global warming and climate change were completely destroying nature. Because of serious disturbances in the atmosphere, the weather was acting strange everywhere. She packed her bags and decided to travel the world to study these dangerous events. Her first stop was a desert village suffering from a terrible drought. It hadn't rained for a whole year, creating a severe water shortage for everyone. Without healthy crops, the poor villagers were facing dangerous starvation. Sadly, the dry land also sparked a huge forest fire that burned for days. Jennifer took careful notes, feeling very sad but determined to help these struggling people. Next, Jennifer visited a tall mountain town and felt a sudden earthquake. The strong shaking quickly caused a rocky landslide that blocked the main roads. Up in the snowy peaks, the loud noise triggered a huge avalanche. Later that week, she even saw a distant volcanic eruption shooting hot lava and dark ash high into the air. Nature was definitely showing its angry side. She then traveled to the coast, but a dark storm suddenly appeared over the ocean. Bright lightning flashed across the dark sky. The dangerous winds grew into a massive hurricane, and she even spotted a fast tornado spinning nearby. The endless heavy rain soon caused a deep river flood that covered the streets in mud. Finally, Jennifer visited a tropical island where an underwater quake created a giant tsunami. The warning sirens rang, and everyone ran up to the hills to stay safe. After surviving this massive wave, Jennifer returned home. She promised to teach the world how to protect the environment and stop these events. Anna's Green Mission. Anna was a young girl who lived near the beautiful blue ocean. Unlike most of her friends, she used to be interested in the environment and wanted to learn everything about our planet. Every day, she walked outside to watch different animal species in the forest. She always believed that every human had a special duty to protect the earth from bad changes. However, the temperature began to increase every summer, and the winters had much less snow than before. Anna noticed that the water on the Earth's surface was getting warmer and dirtier. This sudden change was highly dangerous for the balance of nature, causing many wild animals to stay away from their natural homes. She knew she had to take action quickly. Anna visited the local farms and saw the bad effects there too. It was difficult to grow a healthy plant in the dry soil, and the farmers could not harvest their main crop. They could no longer produce enough food for the town. When strong storms hit the coast, the old trees began to shake violently in the wind. The poor farmers felt very desperate. She made a great suggestion to her town about using clean power to save the town. She explained the amazing benefits of solar energy from the hot sun and wind energy from the coastal breezes. She believed this would stop the pollution and help the environment heal. She drew colorful posters, asking everyone to support her exciting ideas for a greener future. Eventually, her loud voice reached the state government, and important leaders visited her town. The local authorities listened to her smart plans and promised to build clean power stations. They warmly told Anna to keep on working hard for nature and never give up. Anna smiled proudly, knowing she made a real difference for her town and the animals. The Great Journey of Martha. Martha was born in a small and quiet town in England. Her birthplace was surrounded by green hills. From her early ages, she was a very curious girl. Everyone thought she was a true genius because she asked so many questions. On her birthday, she only asked for books. She wanted to live a meaningful life. When she turned 18, she decided to leave her hometown. She packed her bags to go to the university in a big city. There, she chose to study chemistry and physics. During her classes, she met a clever writer who helped publish her ideas. She spent all her time reading and learning new things. After graduation, she worked as a hardworking researcher in a modern lab. She became a successful scientist doing important experiments. She was also an inventor who built a special machine. As a true discoverer, she found new scientific methods. Soon, she started to become famous all over the world. Martha was a brave explorer too, traveling to wild forests to find rare plants. She was widely famous for her brilliant mind. She worked with a skilled physician to make new medicines. Together, they cured many sick people in poor villages. Martha proved that hard work and science could save lives. She continued her important work until her old age. Sadly, her death came when she was 85. She died peacefully in her sleep, leaving a great legacy. Even after she passed away, people never forgot her amazing contributions. Today, young students still read about her wonderful journey and success.